Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Sunday special, March 24th, 2019. Want to cover these games. Just before we do the review, I just want to say that on my bracket, I have Tennessee and Virginia meeting because Virginia can get their 33rd all-time tournament win against Tennessee. Tennessee equals 137, the 33rd prime. And I had this Tennessee-Purdue matchup coming, assuming Tennessee gets past this round, which we'll talk about. Yesterday, I talked about Purdue in 87 in a big way. Did you guys notice they won with 87 points? Let's do some quick review, and then we'll come back to this game. There is a chance at an Iowa upset, but I am expecting Tennessee to advance. But real quick, let's just review yesterday's games. It was a really awesome day in the NHL yesterday. I hope you guys made some money. This Celtics-Hornets game, we said the numbers could go both ways because the Hornets had a chance to stay on 39 losses in Charlotte. Charlotte's 39. My gut told me the Celtics were going to win because they need to win some games down the stretch and get up to a little bit higher seeding. They might go into the playoffs as a 5 seed at this rate. But there wasn't a great read there. The Heat-Wizards game was tricky. The numbers could have gone both ways, as we talked about, so I was just staying away from that game. I said if I was going to bet on the Hawks 76ers, I'd take the Hawks to cover the spread. Hawks had the numbers to upset, and they did upset. The 76ers had a chance to get their 48th win in Atlanta, and Atlanta does equal 48. But I said if I was betting on this game, I'm taking the Hawks to up cover. They could win. Hawks equals 26. They could pick up the 26th loss. Hawks equals 17. They could get the 17th loss. They did. So if you took the Hawks to cover, you won. I was wrong about this game. The Bulls barely lost in Utah last time. They were a 10.5-point underdog. This was the end of a 4-game road trip for the Jazz. I thought the Bulls would at least cover, maybe even win. Instead, they get blown out by 31 points. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. But that's about the only game I feel bad about from yesterday. Timberwolves-Grizzlies. This was another tight narrative. We pointed out how the conference records would make sense if the Timberwolves won with the date numerology. Grizzlies had the narrative on the surface. Wasn't crazy about that game. Timberwolves did win it, so it was the conference records, I guess, there. We also pointed out how if the Grizzlies lose this game, they're in perfect shape to get their 45th loss in their next game because their next opponent has the 45 connection. So it wasn't crazy about that game. Timberwolves did take it. Mavs Warriors, I pointed out these teams have played 3 times this year. They've all been very close games. Didn't make sense that the Warriors were a big favorite to me. I said if I was going to bet on this game, I'd bet on the Mavs to cover, maybe even upset because the Warriors have been playing really weird against crappy teams at home. Remember, Dallas and Warriors both equal 49. Warriors stayed on 49 wins against Dallas. Dallas becomes 1-3 on the season against them. So if you took the points there, you won. The game that I really liked for a team to win outright was the Trailblazers. They got it done. And Suns and Kings was another one where it was like, it could go either way. The Suns did have some numbers to potentially win. They could have stayed on 30 losses, Kings 30. Kings could have stayed on 35 wins, Phoenix and Suns 35. Suns had been playing well on Saturday, so if you bet on these upsets in the NBA, you definitely came out ahead yesterday. The teams covered and won. NHL was really good. I mean, we were on the right side of nearly every NHL game yesterday. So, hold on. Be on the right date here. I thought this Devils game would go to a shootout and they would lose in the shootout. I said to take the points with the Devils. If you did, you won the game. They didn't lose in the shootout. They won in the shootout, but I saw the shootout coming. Why they won, I can't explain, but they stayed on that 39 against Arizona. Arizona 39. I thought the Coyotes, though, would get that 37th win in the shootout because Devils is 37. But still, if you took the puck line with the Devils, you won. Islanders got the 93rd points against the Philadelphia Flyers. Philadelphia Flyers 93. That came through. I was hoping the Avalanche would win this game. I didn't have an outright pick on this one, but I wanted the Avalanche to win because I think that sets up a good narrative for the next game. So talk about that when it comes. We thought the Senators had a good chance to upset the Oilers. It was the 43rd series game. Senators could stay on 43 losses. Ottawa Senators equals 191, the 43rd prime. They got it done there with a score of 4-3. Rangers, they were a good payout to upset the Maple Leafs last night. I really like that one because they are the team with the double 44 connection. They kept the Maple Leafs at 44 wins. Rangers 44. New York Rangers 193, the 44th prime. Made sense for the Canadians to give the Sabres their 34th loss. Canadians 34. Bruins, Panthers. We talked about the Bruins getting those 101st points. Panthers 101. Something about the next game too, I'm forgetting right now. But the one concern for this game was the Panthers could have stayed on 29 against the Bruins. Bruins is 29. And I was saying they could do that with a win or a loss in a shootout, but the 101st points seemed most likely, and there was something about the next game that made us lean towards the Bruins too. So we were favoring Bruins there. Hurricane, the only thing we said is getting the 89th points against the team that dishes out the 24. 89, the 24th prime, Wild 24. Hurricanes came through. This game I was wrong about. I thought, I think I was wrong about this game. I can't even remember. Oh, it was about the 27. Oh, that's what it was. It was about the Jets staying on 44 wins against the Predators. Predators 44. And Jets equaling 27 and the Predators staying on 27. So I was wrong about this game. The Predators face the Penguins, I believe, in – do they face the Penguins in their next game? Let me check that. Oh, no, they got the Minnesota Wild and then the Penguins. Penguins have that 42 connection. Just starting to make me wonder if they could be on 42 when they face the Penguins. We pointed out the Blues had a good chance to upset the Lightning here. It was the 43rd series game. The hold on. I got to check this out again. I just remember 43 and 14 were big numbers on the game, and Blues equals 14. I got to double check this real quick. But it was the 43rd series game. Tampa Bay was at 14 wins against St. Louis. We pointed out they could get their 14th loss in the 43rd game. 43, the 14th prime, Blues 14. So, and another score of 4-3. The problem was Blues is also 59, but that 43-14 relationship was really sticking out. The Blues didn't pay a lot, though, which was look at the 39 saves. St. Louis Blues 39. But yeah, that was the way we were leaning. If it was a better payout, I would have been more gung-ho about it. We said the Penguins probably get their 41st win in Dallas. Dallas 41. That was the location. The concern here is the Stars could have got their 39th win, and Penguins is 39. But in light of it being in Dallas, picking up the 41st win made good sense. Flames Canucks, we said the 74-33 ritual can happen with a Canucks loss. It almost always does anytime there's a 74-33 on the board. So 74-33 ritual, Flames win. Red Wings, we pointed out, had the chance to upset the Golden Knights, get the 27th win over Vegas. Vegas 27. Also, Golden Knights equals 62 and 64. Red Wings came in with 62 points, got their 64th. And Ducks Kings. I said on the surface, if you were just looking at this immediate game, Kings had a great riddle to win last night. They could stay on 39 losses. Anaheim 39. Ducks could get their 37th loss, which they did, but it didn't show up here. Los Angeles equals 37. So they didn't get the 37th loss in regulation. They lost in the shootout. But I did say if you look at the next games, it makes it more iffy. And I also talked about how in recent weeks we keep looking at the immediate game and getting a good read, but then looking down the road and making it a bit iffy. So, man, when you get that strong immediate read, maybe just make a note. Just go with it. Go with the strong immediate read rather than looking down the road, because it seems to take us off the path more often than not when we look ahead to the next game when we already have a strong read in the immediate game. But NHL, man, we were pretty much on the right side of almost every game. And some of these were big upsets. Like this one paid well, so I hope you guys got that. That one I was loving. All right, and then college basketball yesterday. My Florida team didn't come through, but we weren't wrong about too much. So Gonzaga, Michigan State, correct. Kentucky, correct. Man, Florida. Wanted to see him get it done. That didn't happen. The Murray State, Florida State became a watch game once we noticed the thing about Phil Kofer. We noticed what a tight riddle it was with this game and the death of his father, the Mike Kofer. Kofer and Mike both equal 29. They picked up their 29th win. I'm surprised they didn't do it with 88 points. 88 was the other big number on this. This game's 88 days from Phil Kofer's upcoming birthday. So we had a great read from Murray State, too. Jeremy did some excellent work, and there was nothing wrong with Jeremy's decode. But, God, that ritual sacrifice for Phil Kofer just made us go, oh, man, with the double 29 connection. And, again, John Morant had the 29 connection, too, so it was tough. But to me, that became a wait and see. In my initial bracket, I had Florida State advancing through that round. And had them losing to Gonzaga in their next game. So my initial read was right. FSU has the 35 connection, like Gonzaga's 35, like how this is the 35th March Madness. That was my original thought with having Florida State and Gonzaga meet. LSU, yesterday I said this was iffy because LSU could stay on 6 losses on CBS, and they did. They stayed on 6 losses on CBS, put that out in the morning video. At Purdue, I said Purdue had to make it to the next round because Purdue Boilermakers equals 87, and they'll be playing on the 87th day of the year. I talked about this before the tournament even began, how they were the most right team to play on the 87th day of the year, and just look at that. They advanced with 87 points again and again. And I did think Kansas would advance to play North Carolina. Kansas got their 47th tournament loss in this game. I thought the Tar Heels would give them 47 because Tar Heels equals 47. So this was a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't think Auburn has a connection to 47, a connection to 85 like basketball. So, but the point I also wanted to make about the Jayhawks, the one thing I said is we've seen a lot of teams get to the number that corresponds with their team and then lose. So the Jayhawks got their 26th win of the season, and then that was it. And Jayhawks is 26. So we've seen that pattern. So that's all I can say about the Jayhawks losing. They got to 26, and then they got eliminated. But I really thought Tar Heels would give them that 47 there. Hold on, I'm getting a call. What's up, caller?
Hey, I know you're talking Tennessee and the guy dying. Do you see where his father played college football?
Tennessee.
And then when he played, I'm getting a feeling for some reason. I don't know. Tennessee looks like to be a possibility in this thing. I don't know, but
you mean going deep in the tournament?
Well, it feels like Virginia Tennessee is going to be the big game, and which one's going to do more to get there. You know, I'm going to give you a score for the final game.
Okay.
82-79 Duke over Tennessee.
Okay, 82 could be a big number. 82 was Duke Blue Devils is 82, and that riddle with Justin Fairfax, the lieutenant governor that made me pick Duke, Virginia, that was February 8th, that game. Okay.
And I'll say that I'm just one of those weird things when you start studying this stuff is that's when he played college football for Tennessee. From 1979 to 1982.
That's a great observation. Yeah, I saw that he was drafted in 83. That's a really great thought.
So I'll just live whatever. I bet Duke, Tennessee in the final game, and Duke and Virginia in the final game. You get good odds on either one of them.
Okay.
And I just put more on Virginia to be in the finals because they had less odds. But either one does well for me.
Well, that's a great observation. And in light of this man being a former Tennessee player, it's very possible. Jeremy White had a great decode on Tennessee, too. He thinks they're destined for the championship. That was his pick. I believe he had Duke, Tennessee as well. If Tennessee and Virginia meet in the Elite Eight and Virginia beat Tennessee, they would get their 33rd tournament win all time. And again, Tennessee's 137, the 33rd prime. So that worries me a little bit. But
well, you know what's interesting? If you look at the records of Duke, Virginia, and Tennessee, they all have 30 wins at this point.
Oh, for the season? I was talking about the all-time.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
No, I understand.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying those 3 teams right now have 30 wins in the season. For them to win the championship, they have to get to 35 wins. Duke's got 30 wins. Virginia's got 30 wins, and Tennessee has 30 wins. They're all playing today.
Right. And this is the 35th March Madness. So that's
somebody's going to get their 35th win and get a championship. We know it's probably going to be Duke, but any one of those 3 teams seem to be lined up. So I think the Tennessee-Virginia game is a big game for whatever is going down, whoever they're going to push through.
Okay. On that point of 35, I just want everyone to know that Virginia, if they won the championship this year, they'd also get their 35th March Madness win all time.
Right.
If Duke met Virginia in the championship and beat Virginia, they'd get their 118th tournament win all time, and Virginia Cavaliers is 118. That's why I said before the tournament began, if you put your money on Duke, maybe hedge it with Virginia. And Jeremy came in and said, well, maybe hedge it with Tennessee too, because they got a riddle. So it looks like it really could be one of these 3 teams.
It seems like I think it's one of those. I mean, I think it's going to be Duke, but I think it's those 3 teams. And the question is, who pushes through in the Virginia-Tennessee game? Because you've seen multiple riddles on these teams. You had that even in the NFC Championship game with the Rams and the Saints, right? So they're playing both of them. The question is, which one's the bigger riddle, I guess.
Right.
But you get 6-1 Duke Virginia in the finals, and you get 13-1 Duke against Tennessee in the finals.
Well, that's a much better payout.
But the question is then if you put twice as much on Virginia and half as much on Tennessee, you're both going to net out a good payout no matter what the amount is.
Right.
So that's basically if you add it together, it's you're getting about 9-1 or so.
That's a good point.
Both.
That's a good point.
So instead of feeling this Tennessee-Virginia game is like the tournament to me, like just with this guy dying and then him being 79-82, and I think it's 82-79 final. That's just my thought when I saw that.
Well, it is a really great thought. Very great thought.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and if you guys watched the tournament decodes that we did before the tournament began, Jeremy called in and he talked about how the star player for Tennessee, Admiral Schofield has that 81 connection, 81st tournament all time. Picks Money's out there somewhere in the world, and he's probably betting on Iowa to win today because he loves his network picks. That's where he puts his money. He sees Tennessee can get their 6th loss today, and he really likes going with the networks, and a lot of times the networks are a big clue. But you know what else is interesting about that is CBS is 24 as well. Isn't that interesting? Iowa could get their 24th win, and Tennessee could get their 6th loss. I'd say before you hedge your bet with Tennessee, it might be another strategy to hedge. Make sure Tennessee gets past this round, just because the network riddle is there. Iowa could get the 24th win today, and Tennessee could get the 6th loss. But again, I have Tennessee getting past this round because I think the Tennessee-Virginia matchup makes a ton of sense in the Elite Eight. Again, just in case I haven't been clear, Tennessee equals 137, the 33rd prime, and Virginia could get their 33rd March Madness win over Tennessee. Doesn't mean it'll be that way, but that's what I saw when I was just looking at the South bracket and trying to make sense of who would meet in the Elite Eight. So let me scan the chat here. Let me scan the chat. Give me a minute. I have the chat up on another monitor. Double A saw another riddle in NHL with that Lightning game. Okay, scanning the chat. Yeah, I was in the gym yesterday when the Florida game was going on, and Florida was down, and then they made a nice rally, and they cut it to a 6-point game, and they were playing some really good defense. I was saying, okay, this is looking good right here. They were locking down Michigan. And then they called this chintzy-ass foul on this 3-point shot. Oh, my. And then I just got a bad feeling. Then I was like, okay, they're probably not going to win with that call. So They were sure to show no instant replay of the call. I was like, come on, there was no foul there. He just shot and missed. I mean, come on. Rick says thoughts about the NIT with the flooding in Nebraska. That's a good thought there, Rick. I hadn't thought about that, but you did, and we do see that, right? Tragedy in championships. Dave's taking Virginia. If Virginia wins it all, remember their coach stays at 89 losses. Virginia's 89. Virginia Cavaliers 89. All right. What's up, Johnny? We haven't seen you for a minute. Uh-oh, my chat skipped down on me while I was scanning. Yeah, don't forget that weird Virginia bus crash story that we covered. Don't forget that weird Virginia bus crash story. And I mean, the narrative Virginia could be part of what they did last year, participating in the ritual, getting beat by the 16. Yeah, you guys, I don't think you need to this Tennessee-Iowa game really might be a wait and see. Tennessee has a great narrative to advance, but in light of the way TV networks line up with these riddles so much, I mean, Iowa's got a chance to upset Tennessee today. I think the question about the Washington Capitals and Ovechkin, there's probably something still up on my blog, Rob. Just so many of my channels have been taken down. I'm not sure there is anything still up on that last year. Oh, Johnny, you should have been here yesterday with the 89-24 thing. We went nuts with the NHL. I hope you made money on that Rangers game. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Iowa can pick up their 12th loss on 37 date numerology. Okay, let's get into it, you guys. Let's get into today. So 37 date numerology, I just had to come back and check that out. I was like, I don't remember 37 date numerology today. I don't think there's 37 date numerology today, Dave. I don't know where you got that from. I'm not seeing any 37 date numerology today. We got 66, 39, 21. Those are the big numbers on the board today. Iowa equals 21. The lesser method that could matter today is the 46. It's the 24th, so watch for the 89s today. 89, the 24th prime. It's the 83rd day of the year. That's the 83, the 23rd prime. What's up?
Hey, what up, Zach, today?
What's going on, man?
Hey, it's the lesser date numerology. I know you don't like using the lesser date, but I'm just thinking that the greater date numerology, none of the records are anywhere close to those.
Wait a minute. So, where's it in the lesser date numerology?
When you go on Gematria.
Oh, Derek created so many alternative numerology methods that I don't know that they exist anywhere in the world. That's why I don't do that. I mean, I'm gonna go look at his thing and just see. Let me put in today. Yeah, Derek has created some stuff. Okay, so yeah, like this, I'm just like, man, I don't even know about that. I've never seen any numerology book that has that method before. So I don't really mess with this thing that Derek does. I think Derek kind of did a disservice by like inventing some ciphers and inventing some numerology methods. I do not use all this. I only look at the methods that I put up each day. So.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can, if you found some luck in using these, please let me know. But like, I don't know any numerology book that teaches this thing about how to get to 37 that Derek has up here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But thanks for tipping me off to that, because I was like, wait a minute, 37. I don't remember that. All right. Thanks, Dave.
No problem, Zach.
All right. Take care, man. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are seeing something there with some of these methods that Derek's invented, let me know. But just what I went off of is just like what I've seen in numerology books and what I seen numerology websites use. Derek has, I forget what it's called. Derek has, and this isn't an insult to Derek, but Derek really does have obsessive compulsive disorder. He told me this. So like OCD people, like, you know, I think somehow in like Derek creating all these extra methods, I think this comes out of his OCD. So anyway, again, this is why each day I post the numerology methods that I'm aware of, but it really seems to be these ones that come through the most in sports. So if it's not there, I wouldn't force it and go to these extra methods that Derek's posted. But again, for this early game with Tennessee and Iowa, I might just lay off on this game. Tennessee has the riddle to advance to play Virginia in the Elite Eight for the reasons we talked about. Tennessee might even have the reason to make it to the championship game, as Jeremy predicted. And as the caller just stated, the man who died on the opening day of the tournament, Mike Kofer, his son plays for Florida State. He played college at Tennessee. And the caller just pointed out how he played football there from 79 to 82. So he just had the prediction that that could be the championship game score if Tennessee's in it. Now, personally, what I'm hoping happens in this game today, well, I don't know if I'm hoping it happens, but it would make it easier for us because I don't like having to be saying like, oh, now we have 3 teams that have a strong narrative at the championship. Duke and Virginia, absolutely. We've been on that since 2 months before the tournament even began. I'd like to see Tennessee get eliminated so I don't have to worry about Tennessee anymore. But I don't expect them to lose in this game. Again, the matchup between them and Virginia makes too much sense, in my opinion. But the one risk here today is CBS is 24-6. And network riddles don't always hit, but they can be good clues sometimes. So that would be the big upset. Okay, let's go. Let's just move on to the next game. I'm not even going to think about this game. Huskies equals 29. North Carolina gets their 29th win over Washington. Washington Huskies suck. I can't believe they even made it past the first round. So North Carolina's winning this all day. Huskies 29. There's nothing to think about there. Duke's winning this game. I'm not thinking about this one too much either. And okay, so Bulls equals 33. Texas Tech equals 33. I got the Bulls winning this game. I had this matchup pegged right in my tournament bracket, and I like the Bulls picking up their 33rd win over Texas Tech. So, I'm going to check the chat. Does anyone disagree? Do the Bulls not get the 33rd win here? Texas Tech's 33, Bulls 33. Seems to make the most sense to me. Celine B thinks Iowa's going to get it done today in the upset. If you're feeling it, go for it, man. It's just Tennessee has a nice narrative down the road to meet with Virginia. Kind of just like what we were saying with Kentucky and North Carolina. All right, I'm scanning the chat here. You guys are talking about what you're making. You guys are getting me. I'm already hungry, man. You got to stop. All right. I don't even eat meat, but you guys are making me hungry. Let's see. Yeah, man. Utah had good numbers to beat Washington. That game. You guys should have talked to Jonathan. Jonathan turned $50 into nearly $1,000. Let's see. Yeah, Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls were really the only downside yesterday. Everything else pretty much came through. So I hope you guys won good yesterday. Well, Florida didn't come through yesterday. That was the other thing that didn't come through. All right, you guys, but just the 33 is what screams out to me about this game. Texas Tech's 33, Bulls is 33. It just that's the riddle that makes more sense. And Buffalo, whoever wins this game is going to play Michigan. So maybe just what we should do real quick is, let me see if I can get this up here. Let's just see if these teams have any history. Let's see. So Michigan's 0-2 against Texas Tech. Let's see if they've ever played Buffalo. They never played Buffalo. That's not a lot of history there. But just that 33 is what screams out. Texas Tech 33, Bulls 33. And here, I'll just run the numbers here real quick. Texas Tech, no, about 33. Let's see, Red Raiders. Texas Tech, Red Raiders. Buffalo. That's the other thing. Texas Tech's at 27 wins. They can stay at 27 against Buffalo. That's another number on the board. Lobos. Let me just think about how many wins is Michigan at now? Hold on. Next tournament day is at Thursday. So Michigan would be going for their 31st win in their next game. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my my Buffalo pick, because it made so much sense for them to get 33 over Texas Tech. All right, Liberty. I hope you guys made some money on Liberty. I know Jonathan did. Liberty had the perfect numbers to upset in the first round. Now they play the Hokies. Let me see. This is the matchup I had in this one, too. My thought here was that if Virginia Tech wins, they'll face Duke. And then you get a little Virginia-Duke preview, which is what I'm expecting the championship to be. However, I made the mistake in the first round. VCU and UCF was a tight riddle, and I was thinking VCU would win because then they would play Duke, and then you get this Virginia-Duke, VCU-Duke, Virginia team, and then you could get Duke-Virginia Tech on the way maybe to a Duke-Virginia championship. So let's just look at this a little more carefully, just in case I'm getting too gung-ho on this Virginia-Duke riddles thing. I know I did in the first round. Let's see. So this is these teams have actually played each other a bit. This will be the 15th game, and Virginia Tech leads them 11-3 right now. Liberty's the Flames. Let's just run this real quick. Hokies. Not doing anything. Flames. Liberty. Liberty's 37, the 12th prime. They could get their 12th win against them. If we go to Dave's crazy numerology method, there is a 37 on the board, but I'm not using that. Liberty Flames. Trying to find something that just lines up here. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Jack? This is Salim. I was thinking about them last year tournament. I remember when that one surprise team named Leo Chicago played Michigan in the tournament last year. I was thinking about some of that stuff, like just rewinding it back. And that team from Liberty, they're located in Lynchburg, Virginia. They're one of the largest Christian universities.
Oh, they're in Virginia too, huh?
Yeah, Lynchburg. Yeah, they're up there in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay, good tip. I did not realize that. So they could carry the Virginia Riddle too.
Yes, and also it's the largest private nonprofit university in the U.S.
Okay. Very, very good observation. Okay.
Yep.
And they're playing on a Sunday. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep looking at this a little bit closer. Then either team could carry the Virginia narrative, so that's really good to know.
Okay. Also, you probably should break down the word Lynchburg too to see if there's anything in that too.
Right.
Lynchburg.
Yep, you're right. All right, I'm on it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Have a good day.
Yeah, great tip. Thank you. All right, so either team could carry the Virginia narrative. Huge. Oh. All right, so let's see. Lynchburg, Virginia. 260, like how many books in the New Testament? 199. Today has the 46th. Today has the 46 date numerology. March Madness is 46. 199 is the 46th prime. Hold on. Let me just see what Lynchburg is alone. 10, 47. 47 like Christian. Liberty University. Oh, that's crazy. Liberty University is 91, just like Liberty alone. And they became 1-3 in that opening round of the tournament. Hold on. I just saw, what was it? So Lynchburg's 43, kind of like 40, or 43 is the 14th prime number. If Lynchburg lost this game, they'd be 1-4 in March Madness. I know they're 1-3 all time because that was part of the reason we had them winning in the opening round. So they could become 1-4. Let me go back and see what the Hokies record is. All right, so Virginia Tech is 8-1 in the tournament right now. It's part of the reason we had them winning on the opening round, becoming 8-1 in the 81st tournament. They got their 25th win over a perfect opponent. So Virginia Tech is 7-10 right now in March Madness. They're either going to become 8-10 or 7-11. 7-11. Those are some interesting numbers. Man. So if Virginia Tech won today, they would get their 26th win of the season. It just makes me think about how they're facing this Christian school, and Christian's 101, the 26th prime. Whoever wins this game plays Duke. Let's see. Duke ever played Liberty? They're 1-0 against Liberty. Their next game against Virginia Tech would be their 37th. Get the 30th win. Hold on, is there something I'm missing? Ooh. Let me, what's LU? LU 33. Is there anything else? You know, the Liberty, I hate that they're from Virginia now, because now it's like, God, either team could really make it and carry the narrative. But I'm just thinking, Virginia Tech probably wins the game. You know, I think the symbolism in Liberty winning was very clear in the first round. They don't have the same type of symbolism in this game. Nothing's really jumping out to me. The only thing that worries me is if Virginia Tech lost, they would be they'd be 7-11, just because there's something to those numbers, you know. But you know what? If Virginia Tech won, they'd be 8-10, and if they lost to Duke, they'd be 8-11, and maybe that could be a signal about the Virginia Cavaliers. You know, they got those numbers in it, 8-11. So I'm gonna just stick with my initial pick of Virginia Tech here. I did not realize that Liberty was from Virginia. So yeah, I'm going to stay with Virginia Tech beating Liberty. Again, they're a Christian school, Liberty. Christian 101, the 26th prime. Virginia Tech can get their 26th win. And we just saw also that Lynchburg, Virginia was 260, kind of like 26 as well. 260 books in the New Testament. 260 chapters, I mean. Okay, so I'm sticking with Virginia Tech there. Virginia, we had them matched up against Oklahoma in our initial bracket. That's because Virginia gets their 31st win over Oklahoma. Well, they'll get their, it's funny, they'll get their 31st win here. And I believe it's their, hold on, let me go back and double check. Wrong Virginia school. Yeah, and so not only will they get their 31st win of the season, they'll get their 31st tournament win too, a double 31, and Oklahoma equals 31. So definitely like Virginia to get it done. Houston's at 32 wins right now. Houston's at 32, and we know Houston equals 32. I'm seeing that Ohio State could get their 21st win today on a 21 date numerology. College basketball is pretty good about date numerology. This could be a real upset right here. Ohio State getting 21 over Houston, and Houston finishing their season at 32 wins. We're seeing a lot of teams, they're not winning after they get the number that corresponds with their team. Houston's the Cougars. Sure. Houston Cougars 61 like Ohio as well. Ohio's also 61. I mean, it says Ohio State, but right away that 21's jumping. Let me see. What would that do? What would be the next got to see what that does for the bracket. Got to see what that does. Hold on, I'm scanning my bracket, trying to figure out the right thing. So this is in the Midwest. So whoever wins this game plays Kentucky. Ah, okay. Well, why did I do that? God, my writing is not clear. I can't even read my own handwriting. I had a reason why Kentucky versus Houston could make a lot of sense. Okay, well, I might have to go against that thought because just the date numerologies here in Ohio State can get the 21st win on the 21 date. And again, college basketball has been so good about date numerology and outcomes. Looking in the NIT, though, at the beginning, just to observe with the date numerology and the teams, in the NIT, the date numerology pattern actually wasn't so good. And haven't made a lot of picks in March Madness this way with a win corresponding with the date numerology, but we have made picks with teams with the number connection advancing to the date numerology. Like, for example, Purdue Boilermakers, like I said yesterday, they have all the reason in the world to play on the 87th day of the year, which is the next round, and they won with 87 points. Purdue Boilermakers 87. Let me see. This next game is on the 29th. Ohio equals 29. So does Kentucky. Let's see if we can get something here about the head-to-head between these teams. Ohio State, Houston, have they ever played? Ohio State is 4-0 against Houston. Perfect. Ohio State, the first opponent they faced, Iowa State, they were also perfect against them. They were 6-0 and became 7-0. This is Ohio State's 35th game of the season. That might be something else to think about. 35th March Madness, their 35th game of the season. For Houston, it's their 36th. They just won in their 35th game. Let me see. Ohio State. They'd become 5-0 against Houston with the win. So thought 5-0 Ohio State 50. Ohio State Buckeyes 28. Let me see. So whoever wins this game plays Kentucky next. Kentucky's 29 like Ohio. Yes. $30. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing? It's Davon.
Hey, doing well, thank you.
I just saw something in one of my chats. It's about the Ohio and what is it?
Houston?
No, the Ohio. What is it? Tennessee and Iowa game. I just saw something in one of my chats.
Hey, you want to mute your video in the background?
Okay, my fault. Yeah, it's an article that was put out. If you can search it, it was saying that President Trump announces a major disaster declaring for 56 Iowa countries.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure if maybe that might have had something to do with that game.
Okay, I know that Houston just had a big fire down there. Is that the disaster?
Well, on this one, it's saying it's a disaster for Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah, the Iowa.
Oh, that must be the flooding. That's got to be the flooding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure maybe if that probably had something to do probably with Iowa maybe winning the game against Tennessee today.
That's another thought. If Iowa upsets Tennessee, the other thing that jumps out is that the game's on CBS, and CBS equals 24. Iowa could get the 24th win. CBS also equals 6. Tennessee could get the 6th loss. So there is a potential upset there for Iowa over Tennessee.
Okay, because I know I was just looking at one of my chats and it just popped up, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know this. So I was like, I'm gonna call and see if this have anything to do with it.
There is major flooding there, so yeah, it's a possible thought. That said, again, there is a reason for Tennessee and Virginia to meet up in the Elite Eight. They have a nice riddle if those teams meet. So I told people I would just wait and see on this Iowa game. I'm gonna do the same thing. But do you think because they declared it said for 56? Do you think 56 might have something to do with something? What does he declare for 56? 56 counties?
Yep.
That must be how many counties are impacted by the flooding.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, do you think maybe that number probably would have something to do within that game also?
Let me see what volunteers equals real quick. Volunteers does equal 56. That's the Tennessee. Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting because Tennessee volunteers. So, and there's usually volunteers after a major disaster, people that come and help clean up. So, yeah, that is weird.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. Great thought. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I'd tread with caution on that Iowa-Tennessee game today. Again, no reason to believe North Carolina loses. Huskies 29, get that 29th win. Duke beats UCF. Buffalo, I'm believing they get the 33rd win against Texas Tech. Texas Tech equals 33, so does Bulls. Buffalo's the Bulls. This game makes me a little bit nervous because both teams are from Virginia, and I was seeing the Duke versus Virginia symbolism. But I think Virginia Tech probably does win, get that 26th win versus the Christian school with the 26 connections. Virginia gets their 31st win against Oklahoma. And that brings us back to Houston, Ohio State. I think Ohio State has a good chance to upset here. 21 date numerology. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the Vegas Insider. It seemed pretty much about right about Duke winning, Carolina winning, Tennessee winning, Virginia winning, because most of these teams have the most amount of betting trends on them. For example, Virginia has 90% of the money betting on them, and then Duke has about 90%. 90% of the betting trends. Tennessee has 84% of the betting trends, and Texas Tech has 58%. And then Houston has about 84% of the betting trends on them.
So Houston's got the big money on them today, huh?
Yeah, Houston, North Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Tennessee. It's a split between Texas Tech, Buffalo. A lot of money's on Oregon. And that's about it for all the major games.
Okay. Okay, great observations. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Let me come back and look at how Houston and Ohio State began this tournament real quick, what their records were. Houston came into the tournament 27-25, so they're now 28-25, and Buckeyes is 28, so they could be done right there. Maybe the Buckeyes keep them at 28 tournament wins, and Ohio State's now 57-31. Their next win's their 58th. Hold on. 59 was a big number on this tournament. The bracket came out on a 59 date. I don't think Ohio State would have to win in this round and beat Kentucky. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm sure Kentucky doesn't have a connection to that number. Kentucky Wildcats 57. And Ohio State's at 57 wins right now. I got to say, if you want to bet on this game, I think I'd take Ohio State with the points just because Houston could be done at 32. Houston equals 32, and Ohio State has a chance at that 21st win on the 21 date. I'm not crazy confident about this game, but that's just what jumps out. I think whoever wins this game loses in the next round to Kentucky. UC Irvine, Oregon. We had UC Irvine winning that. And, oh, yeah, I imagine – okay, so UC Irvine became 31-5. They're called the Anteaters. Anteaters equals 31, so they're at their 31 wins. Their coach, this was his 315th game ever. He became 31-5 in his 315th game. That was the big reason we liked UC Irvine winning. If they lose, they're 31-6 in his 316th game. And that makes some sense to me. Let me just come back here and look. So for Oregon, the game they won in was their 38th game. Oregon equals 38. They kept Wisconsin at 38 tournament wins all time. Oregon right now has 24 wins. This is going to be their 39th game. And remember, Oregon used to be the Webfoots. Webfoots 39. Oregon's also the 33rd state. Oregon's men's basketball team won the first ever championship, and they won it with 39 points. I'll show you this in history. It might have been in the year. What year was it? It was the 38-39 season, too, you see. Oregon 38, the Webfoots win it in 39. What was that? Let me see. I'm pretty sure they won it with 39 points also. 1939 men's basketball championship. Let's see. Oregon Webfoots. Ohio State top scorer, 58 points. Let's see. I just want to make sure I got that. Oh, no, I was – oh, Oregon won with 46. Ohio State went down with 33 to the Webfoots. And it's funny now because March Madness is 46, 79 combined points, champions 79. 79 is the 22nd prime. Basketball is 22. I mean – so anyway, I just wonder since this is Oregon's 39th game and they used to be the Webfoots and not the Ducks. Let me see what UC Irvine's got. Irvine. How many wins are they going for? 25. 52 is the reflection of 25. I still wonder about the reflections. Like, do reflections count? Anteaters. I'm also thinking because the Anteaters are at 31 wins, that might be it for them. Ducks. God, but I guess they could get their 32nd win over the Ducks. But again, that coach becoming 31-6 in his 316th game makes some sense. Who do these teams play next? Let's see. Let's see. So whoever wins this game will go on to play Virginia most likely. Virginia would be going for their 32nd win in the next round. Okay, so Virginia's going for their 32nd win in the next round. Ducks 32. So perfect team to get that 32nd win over. So I got to go with Oregon on that. They got the 32 connection. Virginia going for the 32nd win in the next round. So I'm taking Oregon there. So again, just real quick review. Iowa, Tennessee's dangerous. I do expect Tennessee to get past this round because they have a perfect alignment to face Virginia. However, if they lose today, they'll kind of be a sigh of relief for me because now we're starting to see why they could be a championship team, which Jeremy already pointed out. But again, Iowa has a chance to upset today because this game's on CBS. CBS equals 24-6. Iowa could get the 24th win. Tennessee could get the 6th loss. And then we just had the caller talk about how there's a disaster in Iowa, and Donald Trump declared it in 56 counties, and volunteers equals 56. But volunteers, natural disaster, you know, after a natural disaster, there's usually people who volunteer to help out. I mean, it could be just some twisted riddle here. So I would really wait and see on this one. I wouldn't bet on the upset, and Tennessee's probably not a good enough payout to have enough confidence in this round. North Carolina gets it done again. Huskies is 29. They're going. Duke beats UCF. They're going. Buffalo, I expect to beat Texas Tech because Texas Tech equals 33, just like Bulls, the nickname of Buffalo. Virginia Tech Liberty is a little precarious here. Both schools are from Virginia. One of them is going to face Duke, and we're expecting a Duke-Virginia championship. Liberty has a connection to 26, so I'm sticking with Virginia Tech, beating Liberty, picking up that 26. Just want to make sure one more time I didn't miss something. Oh, you know what? And Hokies has that 67 connection like Duke, so good reason to face Duke. Yeah, so I'm going to stay with VT there. Virginia gets their 31st win over Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 31. Ohio State's got a chance to upset Houston here. It's their 35th game of the season. It's the 35th March Madness. We have 21 date numerology. They can get the 21st win. Houston equals 32. They're already at 32. Houston's at 28 tournament wins, and Buckeyes equals 28. They could stay at 28 tournament wins versus the Buckeyes. So I'm going to say I favor Ohio State to get the upset here. And Oregon, I like Oregon advancing because if they do, Virginia can get their 32nd win over Oregon, and they carry that 32 value, Ducks 32. So that's where I'm at with college basketball. Let me see what's going on in the NBA. What time's our early start? Shit. Well, who cares? Who was going to bet on the Knicks anyway? So no loss there. I haven't done the decode on that game, but not a big deal that we missed that. Let me see what the NHL start times are. Okay, 12:30. That's in 30 minutes, huh? So let me see. Am I wrong about that? Capitals has that gematria of 36 and 81. I wonder if the Flyers could lose in a shootout here. Philadelphia Flyers 96. We talked about this. Capitals should win this game. Philadelphia Flyers 96. Maybe it goes to the shootout. They stay at 36 wins. So Capitals make sense there. Let's do these NHL games real quick, and then we'll do the NBA. But Capitals looking good. Hold on here. Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers, 219th game. Capitals going for the 86th win. Flyers going for the 115th. Schedule here. Flyers got Toronto next. Oh, perfect. So they can go into Toronto with 36 wins. Even better, because Toronto's that super 36 city. And Maple Leafs equals 36 too. Toronto 36, 36. Maple Leafs 36. If you can get a pick in on this Flyers game, I think that's a good one right there. We did talk about that in advance before even today, so not the first time we mentioned these things. But yeah, Capitals looking good. Coyotes, Islanders. They can get their 33rd loss over New York to New York. Coyotes equals 33, New York 33. There's the overlap number. The Coyotes used to be the Phoenix Coyotes. They're now the Arizona Coyotes. Phoenix does carry that gematria 26, but maybe that's out the window now. The overlap number now is 33. Islanders is 101, the 26th prime. To close this here. Just again, our date numerology 66, 39, 21. 173rd day of the NHL season. That's the 40th prime. But right now, Islanders are looking good on the surface. Coyotes got the Blackhawks next. Chicago's 37. Blackhawks also has the 37 connection. So that looks like a good team to get the 37th win against. And then they would have a chance at their 38th against Colorado. Colorado 38, the 38th state, team that dishes the 38. So I'm thinking Islanders look good here too. Let's see who they play next. Islanders got Columbus next. Columbus equals 25. They can stay on 25 losses to face Columbus. So that makes sense too. Blue Jackets equals 28 and 44 with the exceptions. But yeah, so Islanders look good. Capitals look good. Islanders look good. Hurricanes, hold on, maybe it's Canadians. Canadians 173, the 40th prime. They're at 40 wins. Remember, today's the 173rd day of the NHL season, which is the 40th prime. Plus Canadians is 173, the 40th prime. Could they stay right there at 40? Could they stay right there at 40? Let me see here. Hurricanes. Hold up. I want to do what I did yesterday real quick. I want to put up all my reduction extension values. Carolina Hurricanes 90. They could get to 90 points with a loss and a shootout. Montreal Canadiens. Let's see. $202nd game. Montreal going for the 110th win. Carolina going for the 73rd loss. Wait a minute. No. I'm reading that backwards. Carolina going for the 73rd win. Now that stands out to me because this game's in Carolina. Carolina equals 73, and 73 is the 21st prime number. So Carolina can get the 73rd win in the series at home in this game. That's overtime and regulation wins. Make sure I'm not getting dyslexic. Yep. So going for the 73rd win on the 21 date at home. So that makes sense to me. They could also get their 91st points at home. Hurricanes 91. Let's see who these teams play next. Canadians play the Florida Panthers next. Florida. Hold on real quick. Hey, Dad. Actually, I'm doing a special live stream right now for my sports guys because of the tournament. I'll call you back as soon as I'm done. All right, see you. My dad, we talk every Sunday morning, so this is normally our talk time. But anyway, we got to get things done today. So let's see. Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers. I don't see the riddle for the Canadians next game with Florida, unfortunately. It's always nice when something lines up with the next game, but it's okay. It doesn't have to. What's the date numerology of that game? 29, 48, 68, 29, 41 date. Ah, it'll be a 41 date numerology, and the Canadians could potentially get their 41st win in that game. So there's a little reason to believe. That could be it right there, the 41 date numerology. Hurricanes got the Capitals next. Capitals have that 27 connection. They could get their 27th loss against the Capitals. And that's in Washington. Washington Capitals. So, yeah, I like the Hurricanes here. Hurricanes got multiple riddles. So we like Capitals, we like Islanders, we like Hurricanes. We like home teams today. The home teams, things are lining up nicely for. Back-to-back games. Avalanche just beat the Blackhawks yesterday. Remember, Chicago Blackhawks is 137, the 33rd prime. God, you know what? Now that I think about it, the only way we can get the 33-74 riddle here is with a loss, right? We see that 33-74 come together a lot. If the Blackhawks lost, they'd have 33 losses and 74 points. Now, this pattern happens a lot. It doesn't happen always. I felt better about this pick yesterday just because these are more evenly matched teams. The Blackhawks just lost in Colorado yesterday. Could they come back and lose today? Now, if I remember right, the Blackhawks' next opponent is the Coyotes, who have the 33 connection. It is. So, if the Blackhawks lose this game, I think they're definitely in business to beat the Coyotes in their next game. So, let's do the Avalanche play. They got the Golden Knights next. Vegas. If they lost, they'd have a chance at their 31st loss against Vegas. Whoops. Nope, I spelled that all wrong. Hold on. Take that back. If they lost in a shootout, they could go into Vegas with 81 points. Well, if they just lost outright, they could go up against the Golden Knights with 80 points as well. Just making things dicey. Vegas Golden Knights 82. If that's our most pure cipher as well. If they won today, they could go into Vegas with 82 points. That next game is at home. If the Avalanche lose this game, I think they're in good shape to win their next game. And they got the Coyotes. You know, I'd probably just wait and see on this game just because Chicago Blackhawks is 137 to 33rd prime, and it really could go either way. But to get that 33-74 ritual, the Blackhawks do have to lose. If Blackhawks lose, I think they'll definitely become 33-33 against the Coyotes. Coyotes 33, they're from the 33rd parallel. If the Avalanche lose, I think they'll definitely win their next game against the Golden Knights. So maybe just wait and see on this one. This is the most iffy game to me. If I was going to bet it, I'd take the Avalanche just because of the chance of the 33-74. But I feel a little bit apprehensive about that one. Blue Jackets Canucks. So right away what stands out is 40 because Vancouver equals 40 in our most pure cipher. The other thing that stands out, though, is Columbus equals 25. And if you use the rule for S, Columbus is 34. Canucks could get their 34th loss. This game is on a Sunday. Sunday is the day of the week with the 33 connection. Hold on. I forgot to look at the Blackhawks and Avalanche head-to-head. 139th game. Blackhawks going for 62. Avalanche going for 69. That doesn't go with our date, so no dice there. Let me look at the Blue Jackets and Canucks. '59th game, 17th prime number. Blue Jackets at 19 wins. Canucks at 27 going for 28. So that's not our date numerology. Let's just look here. Vancouver Canucks. '59th. Vancouver Canucks. Canucks. Vancouver. Columbus. Yeah, because you can make a riddle here either way. Stay on 40 against Vancouver, pick up the 34th loss against the Blue Jackets. So I'm not crazy about this game. We're going to have to look at who they play next. We still could get a read yet, but so far it's looking pretty dicey. Looking pretty dicey so far. All right, let's see who they play next. Blue Jackets got the Islanders next. So let's see. Islanders. New York Islanders 86. If they won this game, they could go in with 86 points. Or if they lose, they could pick up their 86 points over the Islanders at home in that game. So they'd stay on 40 against Vancouver, get the 86th over the Islanders at home. That makes a little bit of sense. Then they got Montreal, Canadiens. Let's see who the Canucks play. Canucks got the Ducks. So Anaheim's 33. If they won this game, they'd face Anaheim, 33 and 33. If say the Canucks lost, they'd have 34 losses and they'd be going for their 33rd win against Anaheim. I think that would be an easy call if that happened. And then they could face the Kings. Kings also has the 33 connection. Hold on. Ducks has that 77 connection too. If the Canucks lost in a shootout, they'd have 75 points and a good chance to beat the Ducks, get those 77 points, 33rd win. Ducks has that 32 connection as well. You know what's funny? If the Canucks lost in a shootout, they would keep the 32 and 33, Ducks 32, Anaheim 33. It could happen. It would set up the perfect riddle for the next game. But, man, we just saw why the Blue Jackets could lose just as easily. So you know what? I think maybe on this game I would just let it go. The earlier games we looked at have better reads. Game's a little dangerous. I'd skip the Blue Jackets Canucks. I'd skip the Avalanche Blackhawks. Man, they do have a good reason to. That 33 and 74 hits so often. Not every time, but the only way it hits here is with a Blackhawks loss. Blackhawks just lost yesterday at Colorado. So both teams had to travel. So it's not like there's a big home advantage here. Both teams just traveled from Colorado. The only way 33-74 hits is with the Blackhawks lost. But I think these other games, Capitals looked good. Hopefully, it's almost game time, but Islanders look good. Hurricanes look good. So these games a little more dangerous. I'd give the edge to the Avalanche just because of the 33-74 thing. And yeah, this game, just the riddles are too good both ways. What I hope to see, I hope the no, I don't hope anything. It's just whatever happens here, it should give us a good tell on one of these two teams for the next game, though. So, okay. Let's do the NBA. Let's do the NBA and call it a day. All right, so these teams meet each other with the mirror records. Wisconsin equals 55. So right away, that's what stands out, that the Cavs could get their 55th loss in Wisconsin. Milwaukee can get their 55th win in Wisconsin. First thing jumping out in a big way. For today, the NBA, it's the 160th day of the season. Numbers 66, 39, 21, maybe 46. Because it's the 24th, look out for the 89, 89, the 24th prime. It is the 83rd day of the year, the 23rd prime. And you know what? God, I've been forgetting the 83-23 thing. Let's just go back and scan real quick NHL and college basketball. I forgot about the 23 thing. Were there any 23s on the board? Okay. I didn't see any 23s. And college basketball. Tennessee off to a big start there. See Tennessee off to a big start. Hold on. Was there any 23s? So Iowa could stay on 23. Iowa could stay on 23. It is the 83rd day of the year, the 23rd prime. I guess that was the only one. Okay. Remember, Tennessee and Virginia seem destined based on the records. But we'll see if Iowa can do something. All right, let's do NBA. Come on, NBA. All right, so again, Wisconsin's 55. That's the big number standing out in this game. Let's check the head-to-head between these teams. $121. What was it, about 11 today? It's about 11. Let's see who these teams play next. Or actually, I need my conference standings too. Cavs, Bucks. Cavs can get the 35th conference loss. Bucks can get their 37th conference win in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 37. Bucks got the Rockets next. Actually, I don't see anything there with that. And they got the Clippers. Huh. What's the date numerology of the next game? 29, 48, 68, 140, 60. Well, let's see the Cavs play. There's nothing that's standing out for the Cavs to beat the Bucks here. Cavs got the Celtics next. Is that game in Boston? No, it's at home. Boston, Massachusetts is 55. Boston Celtics. Yeah, I assume the Bucks win this game. 55 in Wisconsin. And that 37th conference win in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, 37. Pacers, Nugget. What stands out is could get their 30th loss. Nuggets equals 30. That stands out right away. And notice the Clippers can get their 21st win today on the 21 date. Something to watch out for. Just something in that game, number-wise. Knicks does have the connection to 31, though. That's the one scare there is Knicks is 31. Okay, back to this game. 30 is the number that's staring me in the face. However, we did talk about how today is the 83rd day of the year, the 23rd prime. So that's on the board too. But Nuggets 30. '90th game. Nuggets going for 46, Pacers going for 45. They could even it up at 45 and get their 45th win. Wow. A lot of 45 right there. Could be 45, 45, and the 45th win of the season. 83rd day of the year, Colorado's 83. Let's see who these teams play next. Nuggets got the Pistons next. Now, Pistons have that connection to 49 and 50, so that could go either way. If the Nuggets lose this game, they're in great shape to get 50 against the Pistons, I would say. And then they got the Rockets. How about the Pacers schedule? Pacers got the Thunder next. Thunder. Now, Thunder equals 45. We talked about yesterday, if the Grizzlies lost, they'd be in shape to get their 45th loss against the Grizzlies. So Pacers, if they win, they'd go into that Thunder game with 45. They could also lose today and get their 45th loss against the Thunder. So that makes that dicey. Let me see what the out-of-conference standings are here for these teams. So Pacers have 14 wins out of conference. They're 14 and 14 out of conference. Dead even. Which is interesting because Colorado's 43, the 14th prime. Nuggets are 19 and 8 out of conference. Prime number relationship. Yeah, I'm not crazy about this game. Indiana Pacers. Pacers. I keep doing that. Nuggets. That 30th loss against the Nuggets, though. Oh, Denver's up. Wait a minute. No. Denver is 50, but it doesn't matter because, I mean, they don't have to get that today. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit too back and forth. This is a teeter-totter game, so I'm not crazy about it. Today has the 39 date numerology, Indianapolis on the 39th parallel, but it doesn't help out with the numbers on the board. Yeah, I'd shy away from that game. If Nuggets lose, I think they're in good shape to get 50 against so that's what's nice about this game. Actually, if the Pacers win, I think that sets up their next game with the Thunder nicely because Thunder can keep them at 45 wins. And if Pacers lose, then they have a good chance to upset the Thunder. They'd probably be the underdog in that game on the road, getting 45 against the Thunder. Nuggets got the next game at home against the Pistons. So they should win that game. Pistons are on a road trip too. Remember, Pistons equals 49 and 50. So they could get that 50th win over the Pistons at home. How much of a road trip are the Nuggets on right here? So this is the 4th game again of the road trip. Yeah, it's still too tough to call. I mean, man. After what the Bulls did to me yesterday on the road with the road trip logic, I don't want to go there again. So yesterday was still a good day, but that was one of 2 disappointments. All right, Hornets and Raptors. 83rd day of the year, 23rd prime. Could the Raptors get beat at home by the Hornets? I mean, that seems pretty unlikely. Nothing on the surface. Just that 39. They could stay at 39 losses with a win. That's the only thing jumping out with the date numerology here. These teams aren't in the same... I don't think these teams are in the same division. Whoops, that's not what I want. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me go back and look at this Nuggets Pacers. I don't think these teams ever met in the playoffs, so maybe we can get something from M Cubed here to help us out. One more thing here. Denver Nuggets. Yeah. All right. So remember that 45 thing we were looking at. If the Pacers won, it would be 45-45, and they'd get their 45th win of the season. Seems strange how many 45s line up there. Okay, but let's see what it is at home. Home, 29-16. So they win at a ratio of about 2-to-1 at home. If they got their 30th win, Nuggets is 30, but God, they can get the 30th loss too, which kills me because Nuggets is 30. I think this game is very tight. The reason I would favor the Pacers, if you really wanted to take a stab at it, I wouldn't put a lot on it because it's a risky game. But I would favor the Pacers just because of how all those 45s line up, which seems so interesting. And also just because that would put them at 45 wins going into the Thunder game, where they'll probably lose on the road, staying at 45. And it would also send the Nuggets home with 49 wins and a perfect opportunity to get the 50th win over a team with a 49 and 50 connection. So I'd give the Pacers a slight edge, but still not crazy about that game. All right, Hornets and Raptors. Hornets and Raptors. So they're not in the same conference, but they are in the same division. Or excuse me, they're not in the same division, but they're in the same conference. 30 and 14. $25 and $22. Hornets got the Spurs next. Spurs have that connection to 33 and 39. They have the stronger connection to 33. So if the Hornets lost, they'd face the Spurs in the next game with 33. But unfortunately, the Spurs do have the connection to 39 too. Why's it got to be that way? Then they got the Lakers. Lakers have a connection to 39 as well. All right, let's do the Raptors play. Raptors got the Bulls next. Games on the road. The road record's 22 and 14. God. Charlotte is 51 as well as 39. I forgot that Charlotte had the 51 connection too. Hornets have a chance to upset here. They do. We got the 39 date numerology as well. Maybe the Raptors will finish the year like shaky. It's tough because the Hornets' next opponent, a win or a loss, could make sense. And the Raptors, there wasn't really, not really seeing anything to go off of there for their next game. A few more games. They got a pretty easy schedule down the stretch, unless they lose to bad teams. Hornets got a real chance to upset here. In the numbers. The numbers say they got a chance. Let me see what Toronto, Ontario is real quick. How you abbreviate it? Ontario. Ontario. It's definitely a risky pick. I mean, Raptors are one of the best teams in the East, but the numbers are there. Charlotte's 39 and 51. Raptors could stay on 51, and Hornets could stay on 39 losses on a 39 date. So that would also give the Raptors their 23rd loss on the 83rd day of the year, the 23rd prime. I don't know if I would bet this game, but if I did, I would definitely take the points for the Hornets. Rockets, we talked about this, them winning the last game so they can get their 47th over the Pelicans. Pelicans 47. That would give the Pelicans their 44th loss. Rockets 44. So that one's right there. They stay at 31 wins against Houston. The only riddle you could say for the Pelicans is they could get their 32nd win, and Houston's also 32. But 47 Pelicans, 44 Rockets. It was how we picked the last Rockets game. So let's see here. Let's see who the Rockets play next. Rockets got the Bucks next. And if the Rockets won that game, they could get their 48th win over the Bucks. Bucks are banged up right now, so that's very possible. Just to be thorough, check the head-to-head here. Rockets going for the 36th. Let's see. Pelicans got the Hawks next. Whoops. The game's at home. The only thing about the Pelicans next game is if they won, they'd stay at 17 home losses, and Hawks is 17. But I still feel good about the Rockets here. Pelicans 47, Rockets 44. Sets up the next game for the Rockets. Staying at 31 against Houston, the more pure cipher. I like the Rockets. Spurs Celtics. Boston has the connection to 22 and 31. Spurs upset, they'd stay at 31 losses. Boston equals 32, though. That's probably what's going to hit. 32nd loss. Let me see here. Oh, it must have been way back in the day they met in the playoffs. Spurs must have been in a different conference. All right, let's see. Spurs Celtics head-to-head. '93rd game. Now Spurs equals 93. Spurs equals 93. It's Sunday. The sun's 93 million miles away. Interestingly enough, the Celtics are at 39 wins. God, they can get their 54th win in the 93rd game? Are you kidding me? Sun with the alphabetic order is 54. Again, Spurs is 93. So, God. That's hard to go against. What's going on with the Celtics, man? Come on. They can't keep losing these games. That is a really hard riddle for me to go against. 54 and 93 get paired together a lot. Spurs, Hornets next. Well, there's nothing screaming out about that. If the Spurs won today, they would stay at 23 losses on the 83rd day of the year. I'm surprised Boston's only a 1-point favorite. A 1-point favorite at home? That seems bizarre. What's up, caller?
What's up, Zach? You're talking about the Celtics on this little losing streak, but I don't think it's that bad. They're just making their odds better for them to win the Eastern Conference.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that.
So if people want to bet early before the playoffs start, they can get the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference. I saw on 5 Downs, it was like plus 4 something, 435 to win the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So you got to down to the playoffs, and they probably go down once the playoffs start. But so it's good odds. So we should hope Boston keep losing.
Sure, because it increases the odds. You're right about that, and they might very well lose today.
Okay, so I just want to make that. I just want to make another point I want to make. You know, it's all the top teams. They all gonna lose stupid games now. You see, all these spreads is crazy high.
Right. Right.
The only top team I think that might play good is Denver, because Denver probably want that #1 seed. All the other teams like Milwaukee, Toronto, and Golden State, maybe Houston is hot, but all the other top teams, you can't trust them with these high spreads.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So you need to look into look at the spreads when you decode for these last 2 weeks of the NBA. Look at the spreads.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
All right, I just want to make that point. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Great point. Appreciate it. All right. Take care, man. All right. So anyway, Spurs can get the 54th win in the 93rd game on Sunday, and that's the riddle we've seen over the years with the Sun and Sun riddles, because, again, Sun's 54, 93 million miles away. So I honestly don't know how they don't do it. I don't know how the Spurs don't get the 54th win in the 93rd game. They played on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I got to imagine the Spurs win this game, honestly. The one thing is Spurs could get their 32nd loss. Boston is 32, but Boston's also 22 and 31. So I think that 54-93 riddle hits. Warriors, they stayed at 49 wins against Dallas yesterday. So if I was betting that game, I'm taking the points for Dallas. Dallas 49, Warriors 49. Now Pistons has the 49 Gematria as well, but it's also got the 50 Gematria. So hard for me to imagine the Warriors losing 2 in a row at home. Let me see. Pistons, Warriors. Let's see. Nuggets next. God, if the Pistons did upset the Warriors, if they did it, they'd go into this Colorado game with 38 wins. Colorado's 38. It's the 38th state. And then they lost that game. They'd face Orlando. Orlando equals 38. They could also very easily lose 2 in a row and then get that 38 against Orlando at home. Orlando's 38. Pistons can get the 23rd loss today on the 83rd day of the year. That's another thing. 83, the 23rd prime. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. So these teams have old playoff history. I don't like to look at it with the playoffs. It burns me again and again like it did the other day with the Lakers. Let's see. Pistons, Warriors. That's not what I want. '300th game. Golden State going for 155. Pistons going for 146. Pistons beat the Warriors at home earlier this year. That was 113 days ago. 113 days ago was this game. Warriors could stay at 23 losses, and Pistons can pick up their 23rd loss on the 83rd day of the year. Again, 83, the 23rd prime. I think Detroit, Michigan is 83 too. It is. Game's not in Detroit, Michigan, but they do have that connection. Pistons aren't a great pay, or I mean, Warriors aren't a great payout because they're a big favorite. I'd probably just lay off this game. The Pistons have enough of a chance to upset, but not enough confidence in it to say bet on it. Warriors could. Warriors just got smoked yesterday by the Mavericks, so I mean, you got to think they're going to bounce back in terms of the narrative. The other thought, though, is, man, the Pistons, their next team is the big 38 team, Colorado, 38th state, Colorado 38. So I'd probably just lay low on that Warriors game. Kings, Lakers. The word king equals 41. LeBron James played his first ever career game against the Kings. Could the Lakers stay on 41 losses? West is 41, King 41. Los Angeles is 37. The Kings can pick up the 37 either way. LA equals 13 and 14. Lakers equals 21. If they won, they'd be 14 and 21. LA 14, Lakers 21. I think Sacramento Kings, let me double check that. Sacramento Kings. It is 61. That's the 18th prime. The Lakers lost. They'd be 18 and 18 at home against the Kings. LeBron James' first ever career game against the Kings, he played 42 minutes. Could get his 42nd loss here against the Kings. King is also... Oh, I'm wrong about that. Oh, I did that. That's why. King is also 22, the singular. Let's see. Kings, Lakers, head-to-head. 431st game. Kings are... All right, so the Lakers lead 2-1 this year. Hold on, before I go to this game, I forgot to look at who the Warriors play next. Memphis. What's up, caller?
What's up, Dak? It's Johnny. I noticed when you typed in Detroit, Michigan earlier, it equaled 155. And the Warriors were going for their 155th head-to-head win.
Oh.
Maybe they get that to the next time they play in Detroit.
So maybe next time they got to get that in Detroit?
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. There's a narrative here for another upset. So that is a good observation. You're right about that.
All right, later.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I might just skip out on that Warriors-Pistons game. I mean, there really is a chance there for an upset, but God, it's just like the logical part of my brain is going, come on. 2 Warriors upsets at home in a row. The Warriors seem to play like shit on the weekend, though. Something about their weekend games. They keep losing to teams they shouldn't. Okay, Lakers, Kings. Ugh. I hate that the 37 can go either way. Lakers got the Wizards next now. Does that help us out? Washington, D.C. 61 like Sacramento Kings. And 61's the 18th prime. Washington Wizards. Washington Wizards. Just one real quick here. I think these teams are in the same division. See what the division stats are for this. Lakers in the division, 7-6. And the Kings, 4-11. I wonder about that 5-11 because 11's the 5th prime. Kings got the Mavericks next. Mavericks have the 38 connection, but that doesn't really help us out because it could go either way. That game's in Dallas. And they got the Pelicans. Let me see what LeBron's all-time record is against the his all-time record against the Kings, just because he played his first ever career game against them, and he is King James. So let's see. "20 wins and 7 losses." And today has the 21 date numerology. God. That goes both ways, though. Because, again, the Kings are already at 21 losses. Kings. Lakers is 21. You have the 21 date numerology. Again, if the Kings win, LA is 13 and 14. Their away record would make sense with a win. LA Lakers. Los Angeles is 37. It can go either way. Sacramento is also 37. Sacramento Kings. And Sacramento Kings is 61. The 18th prime. Lakers could be 18-18 at home. Let me look at the Lakers' remaining games. I really do think the Lakers are going to finish with 35 wins this year. They won 35 games last year. King James is 35. LeBron won 35 games his first season. So let's see if there's 4 games that just make a lot of sense for the Lakers to win here. They need to win 4 more. God, looking at their schedule, it looks like it's going to be hard for them to win 4 more games. Wizards, Hornets, maybe the Pelicans. Maybe they win a battle of Los Angeles. There's the 35 connection. Who'd be the team to win 35 against? They started their season against the Blazers. Could be like a meaningless game here. One, 2, 3, 4. These days got 35 numerology, 13. This game's on the 95th day of the year. Los Angeles Lakers equals 95. Maybe this will be their last win of the season. Might beat the Clippers. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not crazy. I'm not too crazy about NBA games today. Bucks don't pay anything, but just that 55 in Wisconsin makes sense. Nuggets Pacers is really tight. Nuggets Pacers is super tight. I'd give the edge to the Pacers, but again, I'm not crazy about that either. It's all about the next games for both teams. And if the Pacers win, they get their 45th win and even the series at 45-45. So it's a lot of 45 stacking. Hornets got a real shot to upset the Raptors here. Hornets equals 39 and 51, plus there's the 39 date numerology. Hornets could stay on 39 losses and keep the Raptors at 51. I might take the points, but I don't know. Raptors are one of those top teams, and we see where the top teams oftentimes they break the narratives that are on the board. It's like they got a different schedule for finishing it out. So, and what I mean is by like X amount of wins and losses. But I mean, just looking at the numbers today, Hornets got a real riddle. Absolutely. They got the date numerology and they got the 39-51 thing going. Hornets or Charlotte. It's Charlotte that's 39 and 51. Charlotte 39 and 51. Plus today's the 83rd day of the year, the 23rd prime. Raptors could get that 23rd loss. Rockets I like. Rockets I like. Pelicans equals 47. Rockets 44. And if the Rockets do win, they have a real chance to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the next game. Milwaukee Bucks 48. Milwaukee was also going for its 37th conference win today. Milwaukee 37. So Spurs, I can't come off that Spurs narrative. It's the 93rd game, and they're going for their 54th win on Sunday. Sun equals 54. They say the Sun's 93 million miles away. Spurs is 93. That 54-93 pairing something else. So Spurs probably do beat the Celtics today. If the Spurs are a good payout, I'd take the risk there. I'm laying off this Pistons-Warriors game. There's just too much of a chance the Warriors get upset again. We talked about how Pistons equal 49 and 50. But I'm not confident enough to take the points either because it could be revenge game for what happened to the Warriors yesterday. So if Pistons did win, they'd go into the Colorado game with 38 wins. Again, Colorado's 38. Colorado's the 38th state. And this Kings-Lakers game, the fact that LeBron can get his 21st win today against the Kings, it could happen. If the Lakers are going to win 4 more games, this is probably one of their better opportunities to win looking at their remaining schedule. And I do expect the Lakers are going to finish with 35 wins. But we also talked about why a Kings win makes perfect sense too here. The 37 can go either way for Los Angeles. They could stay at 21 losses on the 21 date, plus Lakers is 21, LA's 13 and 14, and Sacramento Kings is 61, the 18th prime. So is LeBron even playing? Let's check that. This was the big Fibonacci riddle right here. The Lakers defeating the Kings in that game. Let me go back and look at that. That was that big Fibonacci riddle. That was right here. I want to see what the records became. So the Lakers got their 21st win over the Kings. So that could be important. The Fibonacci sequence is 21, 34, 55, 89. On LeBron's 34th birthday, the Lakers got their 21st win. So 21-34. Los Angeles and King James equal 55, the next Fibonacci number, and King James is also 89. So, Caller?
Hey, Zach, what's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, Zach, are we looking at 66, 39, 21, 46, 27? Is that what we're looking at?
For which game is this?
Well, I'm looking at the prime number. The college and NBA.
Okay, what game are you talking about specifically?
Well, I'm talking about the prime, that the number that when you add 3/24/2019, March 24, 2019, it equals 66.
Right.
Is that what we're looking for? The number 66?
66 is a big number today. And that's a good point because
right.
LeBron equals 66. Lakers is 66. So.
And then 39 and 21.
Right. Yep.
So 21 is a big day for numerology day for Ohio State. Plus,
We talked. Okay, yeah. So we started. Are you in the live decode right now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. We started with college basketball today.
Right.
And Ohio State, that is what we talked about with them, was the fact that they could get the 21st win on this 21 date numerology and keep Houston at 32 wins. Houston equals 32. Plus, if Houston lost, they'd have 28 March Madness wins all time, and Buckeyes equals 28. So the Buckeyes could stop them at 28. However, if Houston won, they'd get their 29th win, and Ohio does equal 29. But yeah, Ohio State absolutely does have a narrative to upset today. We started that at the beginning of the show. So.
Right, because 21 is a strong numerology day,
Right.
And Ohio State has that number, so yeah.
Right. All right.
Did you pick Kansas last night?
I did have Kansas yesterday. No. I was wrong about Kansas. Yep. But Kansas was one I got wrong yesterday.
Yeah. Man, I was parlay 14, man. We won all 4 teams except Kansas,
Yeah, I thought Kansas would get their 47th loss against the Tar Heels because Tar Heels is 47. Instead, they finished at 26 wins, and Jayhawks is 26. We're seeing a lot of teams get their last win that corresponds with their team name. So,
yeah.
All right, caller, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to review everything and wrap it up here. I'm going to go over the NCAA, NHL, and NBA. I'm going to wrap it up right now.
Oh, okay.
All right. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Take care. Okay, so let's do the review. The good news is I think we got some good picks in the NHL, couple decent ones in the NBA. So we got some games to take a stab at. Let's do it real quick again, starting with college basketball. It looks like Tennessee's advancing, which isn't a real big surprise. Again, they had the perfect alignment to face Virginia. The thought for Iowa was, Iowa's 21. We got this 21 date numerology. The CBS thing was there. And again, that's why the networks can be helpful, but not always. If it was all about the network, Iowa would get their 24th win today. CBS is 24. CBS is also 6. But again, Tennessee had the good riddle for facing Virginia. So I'm still riding with that. Also, it's 83rd day of the year. The 23rd prime, Iowa's staying at 23. Looks like that game's all but over. Well, it's not over till the fat lady sings, right? But I mean, it's looking pretty detrimental. 21-point lead at the half, by the way, over Iowa. Iowa 21. North Carolina getting the win. Huskies equals 29. No brainer. Duke's going. I expect Buffalo to get their 33rd win against Texas Tech. Texas Tech equals 33. Bulls equals 33. I expect the Bulls win this game, and then they're done. Buffalo also equals 27, so Texas Tech can be done at 27. Virginia Tech and Liberty are 2 Virginia schools. They're going to play Duke next. Again, we're looking for that Duke-Virginia championship. At the beginning of this podcast, if you're just watching the review, go back and watch the beginning. We had an early conversation about why maybe you want to keep an eye on Tennessee too, in light of the death of Mike Kofer, who played his college ball at Tennessee. But I think Virginia Tech wins here. Liberty has a connection to 26, so Virginia Tech can get that 26th win. Virginia should beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 31. Get the 31st win of the season and 31st tournament win all time. What's up, man? This is the review.
Yeah, listen. Tennessee might could go to the final. Tennessee going to the Final Four, Zach, I think.
If they beat Virginia, they would.
This is why I think. I'm just speculating, but think about this. Minnesota equals 52. Tennessee equals 106. Prophecy is 106 and 52. Princeton
well. Tennessee's also 52 if you use the rule for S.
Yep. So Princeton, all we can do is live by this world's prophecy. So that's straight prophecy code.
Well, that is a good thought. So, Yeah, that's a good
Tennessee
thought.
equals 52, Minnesota equals 52.
That's a thought. I'm going to think more about it. Jeremy White had the deep decode on Admiral Schofield, the star player for Tennessee. Jeremy likes Tennessee to be in the championship against Duke. So
Yeah.
it could be.
Man, so that's,
It could be, but man, that riddle with the Virginia lieutenant governor was so perfect. So
yeah, but I'm throwing what you say back at you now. I'm sticking to the bean potato. Minnesota equals 52, Tennessee equals 52.
okay, well, Tennessee, we at the beginning of this decode, we talked about if you got Duke and Virginia bets, you might want to hedge with Tennessee because Tennessee Duke actually plays a ton of money. So maybe throw a little bit down to cover your other bets just as an insurance pick. So, all right, appreciate it, man.
Right.
All right, thanks. All right, so again, North Carolina, good. Duke, good. I expect Buffalo to get 33 because Texas Tech's 33, so was Bulls. Virginia Tech and Liberty, both Virginia teams, they're going to face Duke next. Liberty has a prayer, but I think Virginia Tech gets 26. Liberty has the 26 connection. Virginia gets its 31st win today. Oklahoma equals 31. 21 date numerology. Ohio State has the numbers to upset Houston. Buckeyes equals 28. If Houston loses, they stay at 28 tournament wins. Houston also equals 32. They can be done at 32. The only thing I could say for Houston is Ohio has Gematria 29. If Houston won, they would get their 29th tournament win all time. But that date numerology, I think Ohio State can get the upset here. Oregon, if they beat UC Irvine, they will play Virginia next, and Virginia can get their 32nd tournament win over Oregon, and Ducks equals 32. So I like the Ducks to win here for that reason. NHL, unfortunately, one of the games has already started, but we had 3 picks that we liked in the NHL. We liked the Capitals to beat the Flyers. Philadelphia Flyers, 96, get those 96 points. We like the Islanders to beat the Coyotes. That's why can I not? Oh, Coyotes get the 33rd loss against New York. And God, there was something else too. What was the other thing? Can't think what the other thing was now. But I think it set up the Coyotes' next game real well with a loss. So Coyotes pick up that 33rd loss. Something else I'm forgetting now. Hurricanes looked good to get it done against the Canadiens. It's the 173rd day of the NHL season. 173 is the 40th prime. Canadiens is 173, the 40th prime. God, my mind's slipping. There were some other riddles too. Covered too many games. I can't think now. Hurricanes got the Capitals next. We were talking about how that if the Hurricanes won, they could very well get their 27th loss against the Capitals in the next game. Capitals is 27. Maybe there was something with the Canadian schedule too. I think it was just that. But Hurricanes had a decent riddle. If the Blackhawks lose, they'll have 33 losses and 74 points. Chicago Blackhawks is 137, the 33rd prime. The 33 really could go either way, but to get the 33-74 ritual, which we see so often, the Blackhawks have to lose. And then Blue Jackets Canucks was real tough. Vancouver equals 40. The Blue Jackets could stay on 40 wins. Columbus equals 25 and 34. Canucks could get the 34th loss. You guys, I don't like when people call during the review. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, what's going on? Any chance you can go over that Nebraska game? I'm not sure if I saw that you did that. I know someone in the chat mentioned that there was the flooding, and I saw that the other team's sitting on 21 points with the date numerology. Maybe there's something there that you can find. Okay.
In the future, call and ask for this before I do the review. But here, we can look real quick. All right. Okay, thanks, man. Okay, hold on. Let's just look real quick. Let's look real quick. So we need the NIT. Okay. Both teams are going for the 21 here. Doesn't help. TCU's on 21. They could stay on 21 on the 21 day. Cornhuskers. Nebraska's 71 the 20th prime. They'd get their 20th win today. Nebraska Cornhuskers. Cornhuskers, 83rd day of the year. Cornhuskers 151. Isn't TCU Horned Frogs? That's 74 connection. Come back and look at that again. Well, they got a chance to keep Nebraska or TCU at 21 wins on the 21 date. Nebraska's also 73 the 21st prime. So there's reason to believe they could keep them at 21. Frog 66 date. If Nebraska, oh no, never mind. That's not true. Can I get a full version of this? What is that? Okay, is there one with the teams? Is this the right one? This is not NIT. Okay. So Nebraska and TCU are meeting right here. Memphis and Creighton. All right, those games must have been yesterday. Maybe they're tomorrow. Play. Oh, okay. There's Memphis Creighton. Creighton beat Memphis. So Creighton's going to face the winner of this game. Creighton 79. Creighton's at 20 wins. So Creighton's at 20 wins. So their next one will be their 21st too. And we saw how Nebraska has that connection to 21. Forget what Creighton's mascot is. I'll do it this way. Blue Jays. Blue Jays. It's their 99th season. Didn't I just see a 99 up on the board for them? Creighton 99, their 99th season. And they're going places. All right, let's see. Oh, they're in Nebraska too. So you get this Nebraska head-to-head if they met. 46th game. Nebraska leads 23-22. Blue Jays is 23. Even it up at 23-23. That's good. Omaha. Cornhuskers is 83, the 23rd prime. Back and look at this. Oops, I went to the wrong thing. Nebraska. I don't know if the NIT actually counts as part of March Madness, just because March Madness equals 46. That'd be the 46th meeting. Blue Jays. But yeah, in light of Nebraska just having that tragedy, it definitely ups their stock. And just because the date numerology is here, I think they do have a good chance. Because, again, we just saw how Nebraska has the connection to 73 as well as 71. 73 is the 21st prime. 71 is the 20th. Keep them at 21 on the 20 date. Nebraska might be worth a go. I'm also just wondering about NC State being on the 83rd day of the year. I wonder if they could stay there. So. But yeah, you get a double Nebraska matchup after Nebraska just got flooded so bad. Nebraska could be worth a stab. All right, let me go back and do the review again real quick. Let me get some things off the board here. I got too many windows open. All right, again, just from the top. And I'm not going to pick up my phone anymore. Okay. North Carolina looks golden. Huskies equals 29, 29th win. No reason to believe Duke's losing. They're going places. Buffalo should get their 33rd win against Texas Tech. Texas Tech equals 33, so does Bulls. I think after the Bulls, I think whoever wins this round is done after this. Texas Tech, if they lose, they stay at 27 wins. Buffalo equals 27. Liberty, Virginia Tech, they're both Virginia schools. They're going to play Duke next. I'm expecting a Duke-Virginia championship, but you guys have given me some good riddles today why it could be Duke-Tennessee. Jeremy, that's what he liked from the beginning. Jeremy had Duke-Tennessee from the start. Liberty has this connection to the number 260, which is kind of like 26. And they are a Christian school. Christian's 101, the 26th prime. So I'm going to stick with Virginia Tech advancing to play Duke. They also have the 67 connection like Duke does, 67, the 19th prime. Virginia will get their 31st win over Oklahoma. I imagine Oklahoma equals 31. Not only is this the 31st win of the season for Virginia, but it would be their 31st tournament win all time. Ohio State has a good chance to upset Houston. 21 date numerology, get that 21st win. Houston equals 32. They can stay at 32. They have 28 March Madness wins all time. Buckeyes equals 28. The only caution is Ohio has Gematria of 29. If Houston won, they would get their 29th win in the tournament over an Ohio team. But I'm favoring Ohio State for the upset here. Oregon should win. They would play Virginia the next round. Ducks equals 32. Virginia can get their 32nd tournament win over the Ducks. So I like that. NHL, we like the Capitals to get it done here. Philadelphia Flyers 96. Capitals 36, keep the Flyers at 36. Coyotes pick up their 33rd loss against New York. New York and Coyotes equal 33. I think there was something about the next games too for these teams that lined up well. So favoring the Islanders here to get that, give the Coyotes that 33rd loss. 173rd day of the NHL season. That's the 40th prime. Canadians also equals 173. They can stay at 40 losses, or excuse me, 40 wins. And then Hurricanes. There was some other riddle for the Hurricanes. I cannot, my mind is slipping today. Hurricanes got the Capitals next. If the Hurricanes win this game, they can get their 27th loss against the Capitals, which is likely. Capitals is 27. And what was the Canadiens' next game? Florida Panthers. Forget what it is about that game. But Hurricanes seem to have the better read. Blackhawks can get a 33-74 ritual with a loss. They get their 33rd loss. They stay at 74 points. It would have to be in regulation. Their next game is against a 33 team. They could even up their record at 33-33 in the next game. Again, Chicago Blackhawks 137, the 33rd prime. These teams just played each other yesterday, and the Blackhawks lost in Colorado. So both teams traveled today, so not a real big home advantage for the Blackhawks. And then Blue Jackets and Canucks, very iffy. Vancouver's 40. Blue Jackets could stay on 40 wins. Their next opponent has Gematria of 86. If they lost this game, they'd be in good shape to win the next one. However, if they won today, they'd go in with 86 points. We see that happen sometimes. The Blue Jackets are from Columbus. Columbus equals 25 and 34. Canucks could get their 34th loss. So to me, this game's very iffy. And then in the NBA, this game's in Wisconsin. Wisconsin equals 55. Both teams can get a 55 in Wisconsin. 55th win, 55th loss. If the Bucks win, they get their 37th conference win. Milwaukee is 37. I guess, just to play devil's advocate, I don't expect the Bucks to lose, but if they stayed on 36 conference win, Cavaliers does equal 36. So, Nuggets, Pacers. If the Pacers win this game, they even the series all time against the Nuggets at 45-45, and they get their 45th home win. That's a lot of 45. If the Nuggets lose, their next game's against the Pistons. Pistons has to Gematria of 49 and 50, so Nuggets could get the 50th win at home over the Pistons in the next game. If they lost today, they'd get their 23rd loss on the 83rd day of the year, 83, the 23rd prime. One scare for the Pacers is Nuggets equals 30. They could get their 30th loss. So tight narrative, give a slight edge to the Pacers. Hornets have a chance to upset the Raptors. Charlotte equals 39 and 51. Plus we have 39 date numerology. Hornets could stay on 39 losses and keep the Raptors at 51 wins. Raptors would get their 23rd loss on the 83rd day of the year. If you're feeling gung-ho, maybe take the Hornets with the points. It's still dangerous just because, Raptors are a top team, and top teams are the ones that break the narratives most often. Rockets with a win today get 47. Pelicans 47. Pelicans with a loss get 44. Rockets 44. James Harden 44. Chris Paul 44. The one narrative for the Pelicans is getting the 32nd win. Houston equals 31, but Houston also equals 32. If the Rockets win their next games against the Milwaukee Bucks, and Milwaukee Bucks is 48. Rockets win this game, they could beat the Bucks in the next game, who are a little bit banged up. So I do like the Rockets here. This is the 93rd game between the Celtics and the Spurs. Spurs equals 93. Better yet, the Spurs can get their 54th win in the 93rd game on Sunday. They say the sun's 93 million miles away. The word sun equals 54. So I'm thinking the Spurs win this game. Hard to ignore that 54-93 riddle. My caution is Boston equals 22, 31, and 32. So with the Spurs win, they stay at 31, which would make some sense. But with a loss, they get 32, which could also make a bit of sense. But, man, that 54-93 riddle, it's the one that really makes my eyes jump out. If the Spurs win, they also stay at 23 away losses on the 83rd day of the year. Pistons-Warriors, again, Pistons equals 49 and 50. Warriors equals 49. If the Warriors got upset again, they would stay at 49 wins. If they win, they get the 50th win against a 50 opponent. They stay at 23 losses on the 83rd day of the year. Warriors aren't a good payout, and just because they're such a weird team on the weekend against crap opponents, we've seen it throughout the year, including yesterday, I'd probably just stay away from this game. I don't have enough confidence to think the Pistons will cover the spread, but I will say they do have a chance to win anyway because their next game's in Colorado. If they won today, they'd get their 38th win. Colorado equals 38. They're the 38th state, but really I just wait and see on that game. I don't think it's, again, safe enough to call the upset, and who knows what the Warriors are going to do after yesterday. I hope you guys won yesterday, though. I said take the points. Kings-Lakers, another game I don't like. Los Angeles is 37. The 37 could go either way. We do have a 21-date numerology. Kings could stay on 21 losses. Lakers equals 21. The problem is LeBron's going for his 21st regular season win against the Kings. That's also his 21st all-time win on the 21 date. Earlier this year, the Lakers got the 21st win of the season against the Kings on LeBron's birthday. So I'm just really torn on this game. Sacramento Kings equals 61, the 18th prime. Lakers with a loss would be 18 and 18. But I would just shy away. I do think the Lakers will finish this season with 35 wins. They're going to have to win some of these games here because they have 10 games left. So they'd have to go 4-6. Ugh. If LeBron and the Lakers won, they would stay at 41 losses. King equals 41, but yeah, I'm just not crazy about it. So I'd take the safe picks in college basketball today. Maybe that Ohio State upset. Rockets should win today. There's a tiny risk. Just that 32 is the tiny risk, but Rockets should win it. Bucks don't pay anything. They should win, but I don't even know if it's worth it. They won't pay nothing. Hornets could be worth the points if it's a good payout. There's a real upset narrative there on the board. And then those NHL games again. Those NHL games. So I'd just stay away from this one right here. So let's wrap it up. For those of you guys who came late, you can go back and watch the beginning of the video. I got more thorough on these NHL games, and there were some other things there that have slipped my mind covering everything else. But I think today won't be half bad. So nice catch, Adam Lastman. 77 for Tennessee Volunteers and 77 points scored in the first half. And a 21-point lead. All right, you guys, let's wrap it up. Safe picks in college basketball today. They're not great payouts, but maybe put a parlay together and do something nice. All right, until next time, be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern. Good luck, True Seeker.